Good evening, y'all. It's Thursday night. Time for some Star Realms shenanigans. We are going to attempt to continue rolling with the Commander's beta. I understand there may be a little hard to pick up some games in there, and some people are all in, so we'll see what happens tonight. We'll be taking challenges with Commanders, and otherwise any format beyond that, feel free to send them on over. I will say missions with Commanders is really dumb. You're completing missions with just cards right away in your hand. But whatever, you know, some people dig that. Good evening, Frank. Thanks for stopping in. Good evening, Matt. The Cutter Newberg. Thank you for stopping in as well. Matt, I don't know if you stuck around long enough in Jens Pulver's chat last night, or if you did even check it out at all. When you did raid in, he gave you a shout out. That was kind of cool. Just thought that's kind of goofy. I thought you'd get kicked out over that. He does a lot of streams. Streams quite a bit, and he will break down like past fights. He'll break down, as you saw, like fights that aren't UFC. He also does a lot of those where, while the pay-per-views are going, him and some other people will be chatting about it. They can't show it, but they'll talk about it as it's happening, kind of break it down and stuff. It's kind of cool. I always get a kick out of any of those guys that has been a fighter, has been a champion, and you know, really knows what they're talking about. So, oh, I did not mean to mute that, but I do mean to turn down just a hair, not that much. I think that's perfect for me. Let's try that volume out. Let me know if that works. If that's good for y'all. Give me a thumbs up. Matt representing with the Alliance symbol. Do have that available for my subscribers. I also have a few other emotes uploaded as well. Excellent. We got a thumbs up on the volume. So let's go and hop in the queue here right away. See what we got going on. I know I've got an active game or two here, and we do already have a challenge from Frank and a challenge from Matt. All right, let's go ahead and get these hammered out. This game, unfortunately, is not in the beta. So that game's just going to sit there and just look at us all night in noise. Matt, up to you. If you want me to hammer out this first game with Frank, he was in here first. Otherwise, I'm more than happy to hop in there with our first game with you. And then I can go back and do games, whichever way you'd like to go with that. You let me know. All right. So Matt says, go ahead and battle it out with Frank. So Matt was doing something yesterday where he was playing mirror matches. I haven't decided if I want to do that tonight or not. And I probably should have decided that before I looked at the format, look who Frank picked. You know what? I'm not going to do it. So maybe we'll do that on another stream. Let's take a look here. So we've got middle row with missions. All right, and Frank is taking Divine Admiral Lee. So we're gonna play Nandi. What's up, BQ? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, no, there's nothing good about missions. Not the way they're implemented in the game, especially with Commanders. But Frank wants to poke the bear, so we'll see what we can do about it here. We are unfortunately going first. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Alright, we've got all sorts of gambit action going on here. We've got diversify, which we could almost complete right away. I mean, yeah, if I would have had like my full hand, I probably could have completed some. I was playing a game earlier with Imam, and I didn't even realize I had a mission in my hand to start out, opening hand. So let's decide how we want to do this. There's not a lot out here helping my missions per se. This might be something where we just go all in and try to pick up Moonworm. Can we get Moonworm even? Well, I guess we can do one of our missions right away. But I think we might want to, well, I don't know if we want to hold that or not. Alright, I do want to think on this for just a second. You know what? I think we will. Let's pick up that smuggler. Double Chancellor Hartman out on the board. Very interesting. Do we want to use the one and our ability to pick up that platform? I almost think I should have just thrown the smuggler on top. Called it a day. Let's take a look here. You know what? I think we will, just so the platform doesn't hurt. We'll grab the skip for 0 because of our allied ability. Aligned ability? Oh, that aligned. That actually sounds like proper English. Wasn't thinking about missions, we selected the middle row. Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, I totally get that. You just pick a row. I guess, my internal hatred for the missions, I always think about them. But I get it. I think I might have got my first 2 missions on my first and second turn, and then I kind of stalled out on my 3rd mission earlier. But I mean, we've got people that have just racking up unicorns, even getting turn 2, just flat out wins. No, that was the arena. But yeah, unicorns are more common with commanders. Some commanders lend themselves to be able to just complete them easier. You have Yoakum and you have Armada and you go second, you complete that second turn just for free, just by playing your hand out. What did I have earlier? Oh, I had the one where you have to ally 2 different factions. And I had cards from my 2 starting factions in my hand. And again, just pop that mission right away without even realizing it. Alright, Frank's going in. There you go. Ally from 2 different abilities. Speak of the devil. Veteran Pilot's not too bad in this format because there's only 1 Viper in his deck. But it still gives him another 3 damage Viper. So it's not the worst thing. Alright. See what he's gonna do. He's gonna pick up that Explorer, huh? Let's see what he's got there. Got a gunship to the top. That's not good for us. Throws Explorer on the top. The Scout Bot. We'll get rid of the Viper there. Hidden bases. Not my favorite when you're trying to put things together and make them happen. Let's go ahead and ensure. We get that to the top. I don't know if that really actually helps us that much though. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, I agree. And that's why I mean, obviously, well, who knows? I can't imagine missions were remotely in mind when they were making these commander decks. Or other way. Missions were in mind when they were thinking about commander decks. Nice. All cards with Viper get the bonus. I'll pass on that, but that's okay. Alright, we'll grab our 5 life there. Hero to the Explorer, we got our use out of it. Takes your time, kick you out. Alright, let's see what we can do here. We're kind of steering away, unfortunately, from our missions here. He's getting that consistent 1 discard on me, which against Nandi is actually effective because Nandi only has a 5-card hand. Or I guess I should say it's more effective than some of the other games, or the other decks. Frank is deciding what he wants to do. I wonder if he's just going to pop a gunship for a Chancellor Hartman. Go to town with the scrap. I mean, he could buy both Chancellor Hartmans and scrap out. I don't know if you don't scrap that much out. That's the other thing too with these commander decks. I mean, scrap is always good, but honestly, you don't need that much scrap to be effective in this. I'm trying to decide what I want to do when it gets to my turn. Not too worried about what's left out there. Alright. I'll discard that scout. So I am thinking that I want to play this, play this, play this, play this for the trade, play this for the trade. Play that basically for the 4 life. Complete diversify. Take the trade. Grab that Unity station. Yeah, I could have just saved the secret outpost to kind of do the same thing. But no, I don't know. I'd rather just get that base in my deck since it's good either way. Unfortunately, now I gotta get a ship to align with it as well. But see how this works out. Coming in with that double discard. Thankfully, I've got some card draw ability ready to roll, so it won't hurt me too bad. Frank is going damage. I try to cut down my options. Does grab that patrol cutter, which is interesting. So I wonder if he's got the three ships of 3 different colors. Wonder if he has that. Ooh, loses the Talon. That hurts. As I mentioned, we do have the discard too, but we're kind of set up to do some stuff here. Excuse me. Alright. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do some shenanigans. We are going to put the next ship we purchase on top of our deck. We're going to grab that security craft. We're going to play this guy, get the 5 life, get the card draw, play it. Bickety bam, bickety boom. Got life gain, we've got damage, we have trade. We need this flop bot. That worked out absolutely perfectly. Do some damage and pass turn. Yeah, the draw and discard. The only nice thing is at least it is a draw first. But it is a draw and a discard. That'd be gross if that was just a draw. I've seen a number of people make that same mistake too. Yeah, it basically lets you cycle through your deck a little bit quicker. Frank's already down to 10 cards in his deck. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Because you're drawing 6 cards, so it doesn't sometimes hurt to have more options, but if he's getting lean and efficient to where he needs it just to do his missions and win, obviously that's a different story. So I'm really thinking he's got that mission where it's 3 ships of 3 colors, especially picking up that trade star and then grabbing that patrol cutter the turn before. I'm thinking that's a definite option that he's probably got. All right, he is making decisions. I think. There we go. Doing lots of damage to me. Big hit makes me discard. All right, there we go. We'll do that. So grab this because we need that. Nothing top deck really helps right now. Let's do this. That doesn't necessarily help too much. Alright, yeah, too many of those cards together aren't really helping. I gotta get rid of a card every time I play one. Okay, well, this will be a good hit, good damage. I think we will get rid of this now. And grab 2 trade from there to grab the... We'll grab the Hartman. And we will get rid of the Ranger. It's a good utility card, but it's the closest thing I got to a Scouter Viper available. It's a discard again. I don't know if he's missed a discard this whole game. Gets influence. 3 of the same. So he's able to do some fun stuff this turn with all those extra explorers added. I think he probably would have hit his other mission there. I'm just guessing, yeah, especially not grabbing a random Mishi cultist late. So I'm probably losing next turn. I mean, there's 2 colors, maybe. But that's alright. I'll lose to missions and not worry about it. I'll be okay. It is what it is. Alright, we'll discard that. Bye. So I thought I had the trade. I guess I don't if I don't, once I do this. Oh, because I don't actually get the blue. Grab that central station. There's Admiral Lee's big ship, which unfortunately to me, it's my colors for my hero. But to me, it is the worst of the big ships in there. You can scrap 2 from your hand or discard. That's awesome. Then you can draw as many as you scrapped. That's awesome. Oh, then you have to discard that many. What? For an 8-cost ship. And it factions for 6 damage. So it doesn't even do any damage on its own. It doesn't draw otherwise by its own. It... I don't know. I don't know if there was something that they figured with the power rating of the commander and their ship, but that one is severely underpowered compared to some of the other commander ships. I was really surprised by that one. It's terrible. Just terrible. Just terrible, man. Just terrible. Give me my Thursday night Charles Barkley impersonation. Alright, Frank is laying the beats. Does he have a 3rd ship of a color? to trigger his mission. I'm guessing no, because he's randomly buying stuff. Yep, so he doesn't have that mission. So I don't know what his other mission is then. Once again, we get the discard. I do not believe he's missed a discard this whole game. Hasn't hurt me too bad, but it's been just enough to be annoying. Let's explore on top. What if he's going for this little lookout point? Lookout post. Yeah, he's probably got the... I don't know what he's got. Discard to draw. Hey, we actually got something. Machine called. Alright, just a moment. Alright. Kiddo, not a fan of going to bed tonight, that's for sure. Can you turn my light on, please? And shut the door? Thank you. He got to stay up a little extra tonight, and now it's kind of biting me in the butt, to tell you the truth. He needs a card to show up in the trade row. Why am I discarding two? Oh, that one's... Oh, I picked the wrong one. I got confused by the kiddo showing up. Well, well, we hang out in the station because we'll get the bonus. Even though I don't want to get rid of that, obviously, but yeah, we do. I guess we get that. Oh, should I have done something with this first? Oh, I still can. So what do we got? All right. Let's do this. And then let's blow this up. That would be nice to have. We can at least... Oh, this will work. So I can top deck it, but I can't get it because or I can buy it and draw. You know, we'll just top deck it and just get whatever we draw here. Alright, so, well, Frank said he's looking for something to show up on the row. I don't know what it is. I hope I didn't help him. But we'll find out. So what kind of action Frank's going to pull out here? Down to the wire. He is fishing. He is buying the cheapest cards on the row. So he literally is looking for something to show up. I don't know what he's looking for. Oh, I wonder... Well... I like to note that he's at acceptable losses this whole game and never used it. That's interesting. Yeah, I really don't know what he was looking for. But that is game. Taking it down with the missions, actually. I think I could have got damage. Yeah, I definitely could have got damage there too for the win. Good game, Frank. Good game. What was the mystery mission? What was the mystery card you were waiting to show up to save the day? I'm going to take my turn with Imam here real quick, and then we'll get to Matt's game. Good game, sir. Good game. So this one I would have actually already won, but I messed up one turn and I discarded a scout when I didn't need to, and I could have top decked and drawn the card I needed. So yeah, right now I can't do this at all. Grab that. Needed Star Empire base. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think we saw more than just the one I bought, and that's so funny because I completely randomly bought that just because it's a decent card. It didn't help out my missions at all. That's kind of funny how that works. Not funny for you, but I'm sure you know what I mean. All right. Do we want to put that on top and then go for it? Or just bank on getting this together somewhere. I've got a lot of card draw. If I do the 4, got 1, 2, 3, 4 to put it on top. Draw. I mean, I could get rid of this. I don't need this at all. So I guess let's... What she got? She probably has a bunch of damage. Yeah, she has enough to kill it, which doesn't really help me at all. Let's do it anyways. Let's do it. Let's get the trade there. Let's get the trade there. I'm not really too worried about this, so I'll take the trade here. Draw. Shuffle up, draw. Oh, hey, that wins. Duh. Why am I upset about that? That's exactly what I wanted to happen. I was thinking that wouldn't be around to match up with the base on my deck, but I had that base for the sole purpose of getting that mission to work. So that's a perfect example there of Nandi just being able to each turn you can just choose to top deck a card instead. And if you get cards that draw and put some stuff together, boom, that game's done. So, yeah, just taking it down. All right, so Matt has sent us Valken with all the base sets. Interesting. All right, so let's take a look here. I'll take something different. Deciding upon what I want to play. I really like Walsh. McCready I want to like, but I don't like it as much as I think. I think it's really good, don't get me wrong. I don't think I play it correctly, or maybe not. Nandi's really growing on me, even with that 5-card hand, which is a big difference from 6. You wouldn't think that one extra card make a difference, but just think about anytime you have dockers and how good that is when you're able to dock your ship and then get it back and have a 6-card hand the next turn. Are there any that you found that like and didn't expect or want to? Yes, Nandi right away. I think the first couple times I played her, I didn't like it at all, mainly because of the 5-card hand size, even with that ability. And I think I ran into one of those games too where like midway through the game you're not buying anything and you're not top decking anything, so her ability just sits there, and then you get no bonus from her and you have a smaller hand size than your opponent. So she really grew on me. Yoakum, I've been very vocal about that. At first, before I played him, I looked at it and I said, this is just overly complicated for no reason. I don't get why they made this way. This doesn't seem strong, especially for kind of like a chase deck. You know, it's only available through the Kickstarter, but now it's on here, which is awesome. But as you've seen, I've played them a few times now. Me and Matt have had streams together where we played them. We did a Commanders Only weekend stream, and we both destroyed the other player with Yoakum. As this turns where he's, anyone doesn't work out, but the games that we've won with him, it's been pretty handy, and it actually does work pretty good if you can get it going with the shards. You don't even really need the shards too much because you have a 7-card hand size, which is huge. You can make big purchases right away. It's got a built-in scrap mechanic, a built-in extra damage mechanic, a built-in draw and discard, and a built-in life gain mechanic if you get the shards to work. So he's got a lot of flexibility, and his gambit is awesome. It's broken, but it's awesome. You faction all 4 abilities. You get no trade, no life, no damage. But you can pull any card from your discard to your hand. Oh, you killed my brain roll last turn? I'm just going to put it back in my hand and play it again. I mean, if you don't have a big card, it can kind of suck, I guess, but it's easily the best one-time use gambit, I think, of any of them. Dalkin, I'm so-so on. Newberg's strong, obviously. Admiral Lee, I want to like, but I don't use his ability as much as I think he's built to use. If any of you guys watch Matt play him, Matt plays him pretty well, and Matt will use his ability quite a bit. And he'll just buy explorers, and he'll just start, like, midway through the game, he'll just start cycling his deck, and it can work pretty good if you get to that point. I tend to not, for some reason. I just play him kind of normal, and it's still good. Anytime you've got, red and yellow as your main colors, scrap, discard, damage, it's good stuff. All right, I'm sorry. So what was Matt even playing? Yeah, Dalkin. I will play Yoakum. We'll kind of expand on that a little bit and see what happens. I like Yoakum a little bit better with some chaos, because then you get some different cards that come up, or some different combinations or more powerful cards, but obviously the core sets have powerful cards as well. So let's take a look and see what happens. Failed to receive data. Let's try that again. Okay, so I just wanted to scare us for a minute. So we're going first. Yoakum does start with 4 cards. Alright, so here's where it would have been really nice to go second. 6, I could have got a Peacekeeper. 7, I could have got a Fred, I unfortunately didn't get either one. We also got all 4 of the different shards besides the wild card, so that doesn't help us either. The nice thing about Yoakum too is this ability, when you can shard up, you can trigger a faction, so that makes buying some cards that you're not quite sure about a little bit easier to buy. Like, I'll buy a Solar Shift. Solar Shift's still pretty good, solid either way to start out. But here's where normally I would automatically just buy an Explorer. Instead, I am going to buy a Star Barge, because I'm going to follow it up and I'm going to buy the Blob Fighter. I'm going to have a good shot of factioning any of those. Here's another thing too, like that first turn, I could have spent one, I could have picked up, one of these 2 costs or 2 trades, and I could have brought that to my hand, and you could buy something even bigger. So we'll pass turn and see what Matt can do for us here. Alright, so Matt didn't have a ton of trade, but he does get that space station. So her ability is pretty awesome. Being able to make scrap, gain some life, and then get that card back. And then she's got that gambit she can flip into a base. Now, I think here's where it's iffy. I can buy Peacekeeper without having to do any shenanigans. I could also pull one of these out from my discard and buy Fred. But I think because Peacekeeper I can just buy for free, I don't need to do anything. Oh, I've got some sharding abilities I could do here too. Not that it's necessarily going to affect anything. I could gain life. I could draw and discard. I could scrap. I'm going to scrap. So to me, it seems weird. The draw and discard and the damage shards to me seem to be the weakest. So I always want the life. I always want the scrap, and I'd rather draw and discard over that extra 4 damage. I know that seems weird, but maybe it's because we have bigger life totals now. What is Matt gonna have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so he won't be able to get Fred. That's good for us. We'll buy the Peacekeeper. might get blob carrier though, which would not be good for us. Even if you can't faction it, it's still something you don't want your opponent to have. Alright, so I've got... Okay, so I got both the wild cards, that's why I get my choice here. We're gonna scrap. Then we gotta pitch our shards. We'll scrap this one. Actually, we will get rid of the... Yeah, we want to keep the trade for now. So we'll get rid of the assault shard. It really doesn't matter what color I faction this turn, so I don't have anything out. Alright. He's gone... Okay, so Matt is saying kind of the same. Where he's gone to sacking the damage and life gain charts first. So, saying he likes the ability of the draw discard, which I can totally agree with. Yeah, for me, it's the damage ones first. And then I'm big on life gain right now. Matt kind of talked about it in his stream yesterday. We talked about it recently also, that just kind of seems to be working right now for a lot of people, life gain abilities. Alright, so we got both of the wild cards. Okay, so this will work. So here's a perfect example. I need 7 to get Fred. I got 6 trade, but I'm going to draw and discard these two. I'm going to draw 1, and I'm going to discard my assault shard. I got no problem with that. I get 4 more trade and buy Fred. I'd be pretty happy about that. Maybe we could pull them out. I don't think we're going to right now. We'll just hang on to that there for a little bit. So now we have Fred and we have Peacekeeper, and we're playing Yokum, so we have a good chance of activating their abilities a little more often than normal. So that's good. So now it's going to be interesting to see what Matt does. So now that we're a little further in the game, one thing I was going to mention, I think me and Matt talked about this. I kind of look for opportunities to decide if I want to use Vulcan's Gambit early, where it can flip into the base. And it's a red-blue base, Machine Cult, trade fed, and you can either get 2 life or do 2 damage with it each turn. Normally you don't play it right away though, because these command decks have so much damage built in them right away, except for Yokum's. It's only got those damage shards. So I was really surprised Matt didn't just pop that thing out there right away and just start doing damage with it or gaining life. I honestly probably think that was a little bit of a play mistake. I would have played that thing out right away. Only against Yokum, not against anyone else. Alright, so let's take a look here, see what we got going on. I don't think I have anything I can activate, unfortunately. So here's a little bit of a dilemma. I want to see, obviously, these big powerful blue ships as much as possible. That leads me towards going Captured Outpost second cycle, but I also kind of want to put Central Station out there, because if Matt doesn't kill it, it's going to faction both of those cards, and if he does kill it, that's gain basically 5 damage prevention it did. So actually I guess I could go both if I wanted to, and I will. I keep talking about it. We'll grab the Central Station. We will grab the Captured Outpost, and then we will grab the Star Barge. So we'll kill that, do some damage, and then turn. So one area where you really want to watch out, I've found with Yokum, especially if you have decided you're okay going 4-color, once you make that decision, is sometimes you can all of a sudden, your deck can just get too big. It can just grow too much, and you really want to avoid that. So we've got a Factor World out there and an Imperial Palace. We have some pretty powerful cards out there. I'm going to see what I can do to try to get one of those. In fact, I can get either one of them and put it into play. That's pretty gross. So, ooh, double Star Barge. That's just nasty. Unfortunately, I'm going to be one short of buying both, it looks like. So I'm going to buy the Factory World. Emperor's Dreadnought comes out. And Matt does have a space station, so that's not good. We are going to grab that Factory World. All sorts of factioning going on. 3, 4, 5, 6. Ugh. Well, I guess if we spend 3, actually, okay. We'll get Trade Hauler, but then we won't be able to put Imperial Palace directly into play, but we can still get it. Do I want to buy the Trade Hauler also, though, with all this? 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 left over. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can pass up grabbing both of those. Let's put that out there. Got the Imperial Palace. Alright, so we're really setting up here to do some damage. Oh, that's pretty good draw. So we'll kind of see what Matt can respond with here. Did Matt get the space station, or did he get the blob carrier and his 1 green ship in his base to match it up? If he did, that'd be bad. It does not look like he did. Unless he's really slow rolling it. Which could be. Alright, we've got a probe bot. There's a battle cruiser out there. Obviously, we want to see what we can do about getting that Fred handled, though, or the Emperor's Dreadnought. So Eddie taken care of. Alright, so here's a good example. So we've got a wild card, and then we've got the scrap that we can use. So let's go ahead and do that. Get rid of these 2 cards that we're going to use with it. And we're going to get rid of the Assault Shard. And now we're going to faction green, Blob Fighter, draw card. So, pretty good. So here's an example where I should have saved, well, I'd have to draw and discard, so it wouldn't matter. Say I should have saved my other one. So we didn't get the trade we needed for Eddie, but we did get Battle Cruiser. So we're pretty happy with that. We're not going to be complaining. Just with all that life gain, all that damage, we're taking that. We're pretty good. Alright, let's see what Matt's got. Matt's got just damage, a little bit of purchasing. I love this Frontier Tug. The card's so awesome. Alright, Matt does put the base out. He's going to shuffle. So that means he shuffled the integration port, the belly button, into his base, into his deck instead of this card. Alright, let's see how much damage we can do to Matt this turn. Alright, we're going to blow up that base for free. So we got out there, got its 1 use, he factioned it, that's what he's held on to it for. So totally get that. Alright, we have our wild card, and then what have we got? Scraps. So we can scrap this other Assault Shard. Alright, we will do that. So we'll buy the Missile Mech. We'll activate these. Scrap the last Assault Shard. Activate the red. Oh, I meant to activate yellow. I was thinking red because of the stupid Missile Mech. Oh well, I mean, we lost a discard. It's not the end of the world. Yes, it would have been nice to make him discard. But we're not going to sweat that. Alright. Wasn't even paying attention. Did he? Oh, he must have scrapped Eddie. Yeah, wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, definitely scrapping it out before I can get my paws on it. So Matt is throwing down bases, scrapping, good amount of damage, healthy amount of damage. Alright, so Matt is definitely signaling he's going to try to base up the hold off. He's going to try to base up, scrap his deck down, try to let that blob carrier do a little bit of work. Alright, so double star barge. That is pretty tasty. I'll grab the protocol. I never not gonna like a protocol. So unfortunately, I am not going to be able to shard up. Oh, I am. Yeah, because that's a wild card, duh. Draw on the discard. Oh, well, yeah, well, I guess you draw first. We'll just see what we draw. Oh, okay. Well, blob fighter, you can skedaddle. All right, we went to faction. I guess red for the heck of it. Don't immediately get any effect from that. Really want that conversion yard, but it's not gonna scrap right away. But at least I'll get it. I'll get it into play. It's another outpost. Really talking myself into buying that. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Not gonna pass it up. And then we're. Oh, we drew a card off that somehow. I'm not sure how we just drew a card. I'm literally, I don't understand how we just drew a card. Oh, because I have 3 bases. Duh. Okay, so that worked out perfect. Because now we can use Conversion Yard, get rid of a shard that we're happy to get rid of. We're never going to turn down an Imperial Frigate. We will kill the space station, even though it's going to leave that guy out for with 5 butt. Space station just does more things. More damage, scrap for 4 trade. Does a lot more for him. So we're digging what we've got set up here. We're not doing a ton of damage, honestly, but wow, Matt's hitting us for 19. But we're gaining life. We just keep coming back, keep rolling. Clears our whole base, or our whole row of bases. Alright, so let's get the Imperial Palace going. Let's get that Peacekeeper Scholar Skiff going there. Alright. Wild card. Then kind of choose what we want to do. Scrap, draw and discard, scrap. Okay, so do we want to scrap or do we want to draw and discard? I think we're going to draw and discard. And then we're going to get rid of the recon one, so we will scrap that instead. And then we will get yellow. So we'll get that damage off the Imperial Palace. Works out very nice. Get rid of that integration port. Get rid of the recon shard, draw a card. Get fret, no complaints there. Get protocol, so now we're starting to base up pretty well. Do I want to grab... I don't think I'm going to take Supply Bot, even though Supply Bot's usually always good, but we're knocking them down into the low 20s. We got too much other stuff going on here. We don't want to draw that and kind of be a dead card. So. Alright, Matt is, I don't know if he's digging or just taking cards like Long Hauler because they are useful late game. Scrap it, top deck a base, just draw mechanics obviously we got going on here. Alright, we might have him here. I think that's a good game, Matt. Alright, Matt's calling it. We will see. I'm short. I mean, I can kill his base. What's hiding in there? A blob fighter. I don't know if I can faction it though. Alright, so I do have a wild card. No. I've got 3 different ones there. I mean, I can just kind of go balls to the wall and see what I get. Oh yeah, because I guess I bowled it well. I don't know if that doesn't necessarily guarantee it either. Not a lot of damage in here. Alright, we'll do that. There we go. Oof. And there we go. And like we said, oh, I clicked out that way too fast. 58 to zip. Yoakum kind of flexing that 7-card hand and some of that sharding ability there. Valken, I don't think he was really getting the scrap for 5 life mechanic going too well. Matt, maybe correct me on that. I don't think I saw you do that very much at all that game, or had very much opportunity to do it. But yeah, that in the app is a little bit better than in the paper version. The 7 at the start is 10 a turn, a few turns later. Yeah. I mean, I went first, so I had 4, but still getting 7 right away. And yeah, just like I said, being able to pick up cards like, yeah. So picking up Peacekeeper, picking up Fred, and then just kind of rolling from there, keeps it going. So, all right, I do apologize. I need to get up for a minute. I just gotta run. I will be right back though. Be gone probably about like 5-ish minutes. I will be right back, and then me and Matt will finish up with some more battle and anyone else as well.
Cambridge to Boston, lives in a world she's lost in, victim of compromise. He's staring at her Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's whistling the catacombs, a paradox. He's in love with the statue in a marble block. He the girl that time forgot. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let him taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. Wasted moments full of potential atonement. An angel in disguise, but he can see her Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's a whistle in the catacombs, a paradox. Oh, he's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let him taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. You let her go, catacombs. You let her go, let her go, catacombs. You let her go. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let him taste her tears. She's falling too far.
So yeah, I apologize for that wait there. Thanks for sticking around. Definitely family business, as Matt called. No, I just, something hit right and like I need to go handle some business. It's been quite a while since that's happened during stream, so usually we're all good to go beforehand and taking care of business. Lux, thanks for stopping in. Dropping the kids off at the pool. Taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. All right, let's get back into the action. We've got game number 2 coming in from the Kata. So Matt is sending over McCready, Star Empire, Alab. Hate to bother me again. All right. So he's got it's fast aggro. It's good damage. We know that. We're gonna switch. We used Yoakum last time. How do we want to battle this? Again, I really like Walsh. I really like Newberg. I don't think I use Newberg as much or as well as maybe. You know what? We'll just stop talking about it. We'll just play Newberg. There we go. We'll do Newberg versus McCready. And if any of you guys ever met Dave McCready, that's High Bad Moment McCready's real person who won that card. Nicest guy in the world. Nicest guy. Sweet justice in the game. Feel free to send him a challenge. Prepare to lose. He's really good. He won, to me, possibly the hardest Legend tournament to win so far. I'm going to pat myself on the back and say mine was fairly hard as well, because for mine I won it at White Wizards Games Fair 2016, which was slanted in 2 ways. There wasn't as many people there because it was a smaller convention. I think we still had like 30, 40 people in the tournament, something like that, but they also personally invited egg players. So Demola was there, Madam was there, Benjotron was there, Oz Method was there. I'm leaving out a lot of names. So there was a Murderer's Row there as well. But for McCready, he won it through the Board Game Geek. There was 1 year where they said we're going to do 2 digital ones. They let us run one through the Facebook league, which Nathan Yoakum won. And then they did one through Board Game Geek. And ours was just like, it was just a giant tournament. And you just went through. For the Board Game Geek, they did qualifiers, and then they did a tournament, and I think they might have done something different for the finals. I don't know, I didn't make it that far. So it just seemed like it was like a real rough road to go that way to win, and he took that down, and I give him a lot of credit. To me, I think that might have been possibly the hardest earned Legend one that I've seen so far. So, all right, Matt is sent in the challenge. I am going second. Matt's already gone. He's taking Ravager right away, playing on all his unaligned cards. So didn't get any bonus damage turn, one of them from Union Blitz. So we've talked about that. And Matt have kind of gone back and forth a little bit about that. I think this card's awesome because usually you're going to get 1, possibly 2 damage a turn. And I think 2 damage a turn is pretty good. It's almost as good as Vet Pilots, because Vet Pilots you're only going to see a couple times in a shuffle. But as he just showed right there, he didn't get anything from it. So, Newberg, as you know, the first time you gain life, you're going to get 3 damage. That's kind of cool. He does have some built-in life gain. He's got 1 card that's built-in life gain, which almost always you're going to use it. I joked around yesterday. I said this card should just say 5 authority, 3 damage. It should just say that on there, because that's almost always what you're going to use it for. And then we got Newberg's game, which is awesome. Slices of dices, it factions you, damage, authority, draw. McCready's is nothing to sneeze at. It's big damage, factions you, and draws. So kind of similar in some ways, I guess you could say. Alright, so we are going to... Does he have an opportunity to buy that flagship, or do we just want to kill it now to get it out of here? I think we do. We just want to kill it. We just want to get it out of here We don't want to deal with it. Alright, so now we've got some decision-making time. I don't really want to leave the Blob Fighter for him to combo with all this green aggro he's got going on already. But for my deck, yeah, built-in row punch is huge in these decks. We've talked about that. Having the ability to, my opening hand, I can punch something from the row without using a gambit or anything. It's pretty huge. I kind of want to get that patrol cutter. Start factioning that blue, and then get the ability to gain the life. But I also am green as well, so we can't leave that Blob Fighter out there. All right, and then we will grab a battle bot. We're not angry about that. We're not upset about that. All right, we'll waste a trade and pass turn. So now we have more options. Plus, also now Matt is. I mean, Survey Ship's good for him. I guess it's going to basically draw a card, give him a trade, do a damage. So that's not like a bad purchase, but he might be forced into looking at some blue cards now. He does take the Mobile Market. Mobile Market's awesome just in general. No matter what color you're in. That's a good off-color card. Because it's a 4-butt outpost, gives you 2 trade. Or you can scrap it to draw a card, get 2 life, and then it goes into your discard. So it can kind of replace itself. It's awesome. Alright, we have a Leviathan on board. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're short. If we get green, we can scrap again. So this deck, Newberg's deck, has 2 built-in scraps. Both of them you have to combo green. Lux is telling me I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and I combo for 7. Lux is right. I can't count apparently, even though math is actually the one good thing I'm good at. Either way, so we're going to gamble. We're going to pop the Newberg's Gambit, or Gamble, or whatever it is. Newberg's Game. And then, oh, Matt doesn't like it when people help me on my stream versus his stream. So either way, we either get the trade or we get the faction to scrap it out. So let's do it up. We unfortunately did not get the trade, but we do get a double row punch. So I'm not too upset about that. Bye, Leviathan. Yeah, ouch and ouches for sure. I mean, it would have been pretty awesome to grab that up. Just not meant to be. We could shuffle that defense center into our deck, which would work. Awesome. 1 second. Okay, I think I'm being yelled at for being too loud, which I don't think I'm being too loud, but whatever. You know how that works. You married people know how that works. Alright, we'll grab that defense. Oh no, I faction blue. Okay, so I was like, I forgot to play my ship first. We put a jamming terminal out there, which is bad. Actually, no, it's not, because we're going to scrap it out. I don't want to play against a jamming terminal, that's for sure. BattleBot would be nice, but I don't think we need it. So, we're good. Instant life, do some damage. There we go. Alright. So Matt is making some purchases, doing some scrapping. Emperor's Dreadnought shows up. So this is just like a game of bombs showing up, and like, who can buy them or who can scrap them first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Matt's not really in a position to purchase it. I'm definitely not. Really want to grow defense center. Perfect. So here, normally you get your choice of damage or trade, or damage or authority. Because of Factum Dominion, we're going to grab and get both. This seems kind of silly. There's so many bombs showing up that I think I'm going to grab that shuttle. I'm going to take the 3 trade blue card and let it faction up. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Alright. So there you go. This card is awesome. I love this card. They're just being built in your deck. It grabs that Predator. Bad news for us. And that aggro. We've got a pretty good lead, but that could go pretty fast. Anyone notice that weird cycle there where it looked like I could tell he's got survey ship in his hand? I don't know, that was just really weird. Okay, so we unfortunately have 7 again. So we can't buy the Dreadnought. I don't know if I want Gate Ship or if I want to get Battle Mech. I mean, my gut tells me Battle Mech. Gate Ship is fun. I have actually done some things with it, but yeah, I think Battle Mech's the way we're going. No, we're not gonna pass it up for Repair Bot. A little bit of damage, a little bit of life gain. Nothing too exciting that turn. Another mediocre hand. I guess my whole deck is kind of mediocre. I don't know what I've been buying. Matt's deck purchases seem to be significantly more potent than mine. What have I really bought? Fred's on the board. Can Matt buy it or punch it out? Yeah, there's another weird card flip there with Corvette. So Matt cannot buy it. Potentially could buy here, but I'm not sure like how likely it is. It doesn't matter, I can't do anything about it. So if I buy Gate Ship, I neglect myself the ability to scrap. The Gate Ship does at least top deck anything 6 or less, but it also gains me life, was the big thing. If I combo it blue. We're getting a fair bit of blue. I could just buy the survey ship instead. Let's just buy the survey ship. See if it flips over. A light cruiser. Well, I mean, it almost kind of sinks because now I'm losing the scrap anyways. I'm not going to leave that there. Hey, Nickabear. Thanks for stopping in. You enjoy the stream. Stopped over because of the White Wizard stream. Awesome. Yeah, I think they are hosting me, which they usually do on Thursday evenings. So it's very kind of them to do so. And the goal is to kind of get some more exposure for some of the Star Realm streaming. So we are playing the open beta with the command decks. So Matt is playing Hive Admiral McCready, and I am playing Newberg. The gentleman that I'm playing right now, the cutter, is this guy right here. Alright, so Matt got Fred. That's not a good thing for us. So let's get some drawing going on here. Yeah, yep, so we're just doing that for fun. And doing some battles. If you're in the open beta, feel free to send over a challenge to Dusto with a command deck, and then any format besides that is fine. Do I want to buy the Gate Ship or punch some stuff out first? Let's punch at least one thing out first here. I guess Patrol Boat kind of gets the same thing I need. It's going to give me the life gain, it's going to give me the damage. Let's buy the Patrol Boat first. Buy a Frontier Hawk. Okay, now let's punch out that War World. Hopefully, okay, we'll buy a Plasma Bot. Let's do that. So this is where I said, look at the life totals. All of a sudden, it's not quite as impressive as we thought. Like I said, because I'm not doing a ton of damage. And now my life gain is not really rolling in the way I kind of thought it would. And now I'm taking big damage every single turn. Even that this completely unaligned hand of his. He got 2 extra damage, he got all this damage. So, not good stuff for us. There is nothing we're going to clog our deck up with here. Just going to do some damage. Got him down to 9. Let's see what we can do. Can we live? We've got 23 life, and we've got a 5 bud outpost. So we're basically at 28. There's a Fred. So if he finds a blue card, he can blow up my base for free. I don't think he has another blue card. He does. Mobile Market still in there somewhere. Blowing some stuff up for fun. Close, but not close enough. Well, he does have Fred. See if he uses it. It does blow up the Fred for 10 life. Pretty huge. I am absolutely stunned. He did not make me discard. I mean, obviously you could see my hand, but by all means I would have made the person discard there. Yeah. So the beta is open. If you're on iOS, you have to go onto their Discord. And there's a link to get into test flight. If you're on Steam, you can just opt into the beta, right to the properties, and then your Steam client will update, and it'll update you to the beta version. Let me turn this down just a little bit again. Mostly because I'm trying to keep my own volume down a little bit. My little guy's sleeping in the other room. So if you're on Steam, you can go right into the properties, opt into the beta. You're on Android and Chrome. Okay, so Android, super easy. Just go into the Play Store, go to Star Realms, and then scroll down, and one of the options will say opt into beta. You'll then need to uninstall Star Realms and then reinstall it, and it'll upload the beta. Now I'll give you a heads up. If you, whatever device you have on the beta, you can't play your regular games that are not beta. They won't even show up and look like they're gone. But if you have another device you play, like I currently use my phone for regular, and I use Steam for Commanders. So on my phone I can go play my regular games, and Steam here I can play Commanders. So a couple different ways you can do that. Alright, let's take a look here. Unfortunately nothing, well, we'll grab a Destroyer bot, it doesn't hurt. Yeah, absolutely, like I said, good luck with that, hop in. It's a lot of fun, like I said, and the open beta is free. Or they don't charge for the betas ever, but... So we're almost dead, so we will pop that for a discard. In the hope that we live through this turn. 13 life is not looking too promising. He's got a majorly whiff. There it is. So this was a much closer game. I had kill in hand, and he was only at 8 life. So this is much closer than our one before. So good game, Matt. Good game. Like I said, that I had a feeling like I called out like about middle of the game as like I'm not doing too much damage. I want to reverse it. Sure. Yeah, go ahead and send it over. That's fine. I'll play whatever. I noticed all of a sudden like I wasn't putting out the damage, and it's because like I said I grabbed the Blob Fighter, but you were able to grab that Ravager turn 1, and then I missed on Predator. I missed on. So there's like some key damage cards you were able to pick up and just kind of get your speed, your damage going and rolling through. Yeah, go ahead, just send the challenge. Oh, we play whatever. No, I'll flip it back. I'll reverse it. Alright, so Matt's over the same channel, so Matt is playing as himself. As himself, not with himself, as himself. I will play as Hive Admiral McCready. And we'll see if the tables turn or if it's the same outcome. Again, like I said, I've self-admitted I don't think I use Hive Admiral McCready as well as I probably could have or could. So we'll figure it out. Alright, so we've got 4 on the draw or trade. Normally I would just grab that space station, but because of the damage bonus here, and we're already factioned in a couple green cards, do I have any okay, so here's the difference. So McCready's green cards do not scrap from the row. Whereas not only does like Newberg's, he has 2 of them. Not just 1, he has 2 cards that scrap from the row in his deck. So that's a little bit different. So there are some differences, even though they share blob. They have different things that they do. I'll grab the trade pod. That works so good, we'll grab the spike cluster. I was kind of hoping maybe like a trade bot or a missile bot would show up. But that's okay. We'll take the spike cluster. He basically has to deal with it every turn. And I'm good with that. If I can put something out there that'll do some damage and he has to deal with it, that'll work. We've got Hive Queen on the board. Oh, we had a Hive Queen on C. Built-in scrap. He's got 2 built-in scrap right here. So we'll see what he decides to do with that. Gets rid of the space station. Interesting, does not kill the Oracle. So I unfortunately kind of whiffed on my draw here a little bit, but we'll grab the repair bot. That's not the worst thing. Get some damage in there. So Lux is indicating he would have left the queen. I kind of agree. Well, I mean, it did pick up the trade bot. And he did have both his scrappers, so it's not like he could wait another turn. I don't know. If he doesn't know he's going to have... Well, now he's got Freighter. So now he probably does what she left it. Alright, so we want to do stuff. So we got 1, 2, 3... versus Lee or Valken. Yeah, I can see that. So I've got some decisions to make here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I think I am going to use this for the draw discard. We'll discard a scout, because if I can get this scrap going here and get rid of this handful of starters I have, I'm all about that. So now I've got some decisions. Do I grab Oracle? Do I grab Warworld? Do I grab Hive? Warworld's pretty gross. Hive really benefits us both, and I kind of like it. And I've got green, so we're grabbing Hive. I think we're good. Alright, this card's awesome. I love Ripper. Just flat 3 damage, boom. So Matt is able to pull a Swarmer and a Crusher and a Lancer. Okay. Drawing out that damage. That power of a Freighter. Oh, he could have top decked something. I'm surprised he didn't. Top deck's a Grill Fighter of all things. And I guess he has a chance of getting it with the Frontier Hawk. A pretty good chance to run 6 cards. Yeah, I would have been all about that Crusher. That's just me. Alright, so let's take a look here. 2. He'll gladly grab that Burrower. Oh. Factor World Shield up, you say. My goodness. I guess that's the one thing about playing all three base sets. All three base sets have bombs in them. So you're gonna see them. Like our first game, it was just bombs left and right, like non-stop. Holy cow, Matt's got a lot of damage. That's crazy. Oh, he popped his gambit. I'm like, even with his gambit, that's still, how is he getting 16 damage on 18? 6, 9. Alright, whatever. So Matt does blow up the Factor World, denying me the opportunity to buy it. That sucks. Let's take a look here. We for sure, of course, want to get the Blob Destroyer. I don't really want to, but we'll get rid of the Viper. I'll try to get to something a little more useful. A Ripper. That's a little more useful. Give me that Blob Destroyer. Get some damage going here. And just like that, we're losing significantly. Matt was able to secure some pretty fast aggro. So I don't think it has anything to do with which commander he was playing. He just happened to get those cards. Both of these decks would have worked good with that. Alright, Matt playing down the junk cards, which means he has straight fire coming. So we are probably dead next turn. That's the other thing about command decks. Most likely I'm just dead next turn. Without anything I can really do about it. We will go ahead and pop this. Just try to get some... I suppose I could even look to see what I had coming up, but whatever. Alright, let's get rid of that. Not that it's going to make too much of a difference at this point. So we'll grab that Oracle. Grab that Predator. Well, we at least made it a close game. We'll see. I mean, 16 is pretty low, and we have no outpost. Yeah, that's game. Are you slow rolling me? I will end. Yeah, you are slow rolling me, you. Good game, Matt. Slow rolling me at the end there. Either that or he had no idea he had the kill in hand. Which is entirely likely. But, yeah, with the gambit exactly. Playing out those scouts like that. Once again, died with kill in hand. Very close one-turn game with the McCready Newberg matchup both ways. Both of us playing each of them. I was on the bad end of both games, but again, one turn. Yeah, like I said, both of those games, some of that aggro or that you were able to, I didn't have the opportunity to buy it. You were just, it was there for you, flipped for you, and I couldn't get it. And that's how this game, of course, works. Sometimes I couldn't even get that. So that game, I did try to go a little more aggro. You even bought Freighter and stuff, and still got that stuff to flip for you. So I don't know what that says. Just gave you more options to buy. So it is 10:30 my time. I'm probably good for another game or two. Do I want anyone? Nope. Send whoever you want. Whichever format, whichever commander. If you're curious about playing someone a little bit more, send it over. Sounds like Mike has not switched over. Still finishing up some games on the BGG. Is there a league going right now? Or between seasons, I think. I somehow... Oh no, did the season just start? The season did start. I need to go check my games for that. If it did start, I don't know if it did start yet. In fact, I'm gonna go check that right now. Okay. Lex is indicating it did start, so I probably should go check in. I think I did check in, but when I checked in, it didn't start yet. That was a few days back, so we're live now. Okay, so we did start. So, okay, so ours hasn't started because they're finalizing some preferences. Okay, so my goodness, so I somehow snuck my way into platinum. I don't know how, but I did. And this is easy. Yeah, so we're waiting. Yeah, I was hanging out down in like silver and bronze for a long time. I was at gold, actually. When I first started, I went up to gold, and then I just went on like a losing streak, and I just went right back down, all the way to the bottom, like I was on the bottom tier of whatever division you could be. And then I had a couple of seasons in a row where I kind of put it together against really good opponents, and was able to pound my way back up, and all of a sudden now I'm in platinum, so that was kind of cool. I don't want to play any of these people, but that's alright. Alright, so let's go see what Matt has sent us. Matt has sent us Biolord Walsh, throwing in the bases and the fleets. So here's something I'm going to point out. So Terrazil was playing this a lot. We had a test game, or a test match we have going with commanders playing dodgeball. And so Terrazil was throwing, I don't think it was all 3 base sets, maybe it's just like 1, but he was throwing in bases. Might have been just bases, but I can't remember if it's fleets as well. And I said, why didn't you throw in year 1 promos? And the reason I said that is because, yes, you have art to deal with, but year 1 promos has like some of the best bases in the game with Star Market, I forgot the breeding site. You know, it's got like really good bases with it too. But he pointed out, of course, with commanders, there's too many turn 1 arcs that people can pull. I'm like, okay, I get that. So interesting that you didn't put any other sets in though. But did go bases, so this is gonna be interesting. Like if we were playing a straight up match, it's dumb, but I would go mirror match. So that way it negates your ability. Sure, it negates mine as well, where bases are bigger or smaller. But then you don't get that advantage over me. You're predisposed to get what? So let's take a look here. I don't really want to play Lee. Walsh's Gambit. Oh yeah. Oh, we've talked about that too. Well, yes, you do have an option to get it early too. We did talk about that. So I can't remember what was. Oh yeah, hers is just the base. I don't really want to play Lee. It's just so bad. You know what I've never actually seen? I've never seen this card in play. All the times that we have played Yokum, I've never even seen this card hit the trade row. Ever. So I don't know if anyone else has seen it and they can pipe in. But I'm almost wondering if it's bugged and it doesn't shuffle in for some reason. I've never seen it and I want to see it. Obviously, it's awesome. Okay, so the ones I haven't played Walsh, Admiral Lee, and Valken. We'll play Divine Admiral Lee. I will suck it up. Play my colors. All right, we're going first. Interesting start. Yeah, that's true. No built-in life gain. So So this card's interesting. You can scrap from your hand or discard, but then you get no trade. If I do that, I don't get any trade, and I can't buy anything. I think we need to buy the fighter. And then I am just debating if I want to buy the Swarmer, buy the Fed Shuttle. I don't really want to buy Fed Shuttle. Swarmer at least takes it away from you, gives me good damage, and gives me ability to scrap from row. Alright, we'll grab that. Alright, let's see which way Matt goes here. Matt starts off with one of his double trade cards right away, the Protopod. So he's got an easy 5. Does grab that. So tasty Pulverizer. And Leviathan flips over for him. So he has a target to scrap to do 8 damage to me. That's bad news, boys and girls. So I want to do some shenanigans. Oh, he's gonna try to buy it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's short. 6, 7. Yeah, so he can't buy it at least this turn. I want to do some shenanigans here. Nice. Good to hear, good to hear. Like I said, I'll probably stick around. I might be able to get another game in. If you want to send one over, I can play after this. Otherwise, I will be logging soon. Yeah, definitely cool to get in there and play. I don't want to do that. So this puts it on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me the 6. Okay. Let's do this. Let's pull this. Scrap out this scout. Yeah, I don't know if I want to mess with this here. Draw and discard. Because if I draw the Viper, then I can't buy the Heavy Cruiser. And that would really, really suck. I think we got done there what we wanted to do. We did some damage. We have a challenge from Artemis. I'm assuming that's Nickabur. Thank you so much for sending a challenge. We'll definitely get that game in at least. Alright, so let's see what Matt's got going on here. Alright, Matt pitches the laser drone. It's almost like it does a Mania has red in his hand to really combo with it. Matt is trying to get the trade cards. He wants to buy those bombs that are going to be showing up. Totally understandable. Also with Walsh, you want to be able to buy the bases because they're so good for you. I hear you. The 55 on mine is only because there's another Dusto who hasn't logged into Twitch in what I can tell several years. But because he had it first, he has it. I can't do anything about it. That kind of stinks. So if we buy the gun platform, we can't scrap. If we buy the integration port, we can scrap and get the base. And the integration port would actually be one smaller. You know what? Whatever. I want to get the scrap. Yeah, before we do that. Well, or we could get the Frontier Hawk. I didn't think of, well, we don't have a lot of cards to pitch anymore. Okay. We're good. Let's get rid of that. We're satisfied with our purchases. So yeah, shameless plug. Nickaber, said you came from the White Wizards channel. If you aren't aware, we have a very active Facebook community. I don't know if you're on Facebook or not, but we have a very active Star Realms Facebook community. It's a fan page. It's not actually White Wizards run, but they definitely give us a lot of props. They direct a lot of traffic our way. Feel free to stop in there sometime. We actually have a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but we have some people that don't do Facebook, but they make an account just to go on there. And in that group, we do free tournaments. There's a lot of community banter, lots of people sharing strategy and questions about the game and physical game and app game. I will link the community here in the chat, maybe. There it is. I said feel free to stop in there sometime if you're on there, or if you're so inclined. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, we have anywhere from literally the highest ranked players in the app. They're in our community. Like out of the top 20, I think 18 of them are in our community. And then we have almost 4,500 people that are in our community. So lots of people that they'll find people to pair up with to give strategy advice. They'll play some games, give some feedback. There's lots of articles we have linked in there from people that have written articles on plateauing is one of them. Like what do you do here? How do you change it up? How do you shake it up? There's guides on there kind of tailored toward each of the sets. I think you'll love it. And like I said, especially if you're looking for more content. Again, shameless self-promotion, but absolutely I love what we do there. And I'm so proud of the people. We've had the community going for 7 years now. Matt the Cutter that I'm playing right now is the founder. He's kind of taken a step back a little bit from it, but so I mean, it's such a great community. We have people in there that have been in there the whole time, and great group. Let's take a look here. So this is one where you can discard and then draw. Do we want to risk that to shuffle that? No, because then these will all miss the shuffle. Okay, so that's a good thing that we recognize that. We do want to buy that gunship. Yeah. Definitely buy that gunship. Do we want to put anything on top? Not necessarily. Kill that plasma vent, do some damage. We got a double discard on Matt, so that helps us out a little bit. Kind of weaken his hand, slow down the aggro rush a little bit. He's got a lot of green aggro. Well, I guess not a lot there, but right there. So anything we can do to kind of slow him down a little bit will be helpful. Ooh. Pulverizer gets a 5, flips over a 7. That kind of sinks us, we can't do anything about it. Does take the platform, so with Walsh, that's huge, because now that's a 5 bud outpost. And when that pops up, I'm going to have to deal with it. So normally here, I'm taking, obviously I'm taking Light Cruiser, or I'm sorry, Mothership all day. Light Cruiser is really tempting. scrap one of those, 3 yellow. Well, I think when he scrapped, the light cruiser wasn't there. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've had some people come and go. I mean, most people stay, but absolutely. Yeah, there's tons of leagues, tournaments. There's different variations, like we have a dodgeball format, we have an endurance format. There's a league that runs once in a while. It's based on the show Big Brother. I mean, the creativity in the group is astounding. So yeah, absolutely more than happy to have you back in. May discard to draw. I might miss the 7 if I do that. So we won't mess around. We will... Oh no, I still can. Okay, so yeah, let's go and do that. Because we'll still have it with that. Discard to draw. There you go, that worked out either way. That worked out even better because I could use this to scrap that. I mean, I really want that light cruiser with this all yellow deck basically, but we're not gonna pass up a mothership. It's just not gonna happen. So now we have Lee's ability, which I don't normally use too much, like we said previously. So let's see. Is there something we want to throw on top? No, it's just a scout. So we'll draw into that. So we'll get rid of the salvage drone, and then we'll play these guys. Do some damage, get a double discard in again. Yep, we know he's got an ability. So, except for Lee, I don't, my mind doesn't think to go to that ability too much. It's kind of a bonus when I notice it. Lux is indicating he probably would have gone the yellows. Yeah, I was seriously contemplating because light cruiser, especially with those yellows, 6 in a draw and a discard, it's hard to pass up, but Mothership's going to give you the damage and draw guaranteed. I think the draw guaranteed with the big damage is what really sways me there. And keeping it away from him, kind of an added bonus. Whereas Light Cruiser is not as effective for him. I kind of almost expected Matt to hate purchase it though, so I'm really surprised he hasn't yet. Oh, I didn't mean to shuffle yet. I wanted to buy the Light Cruiser. We can see the stars shining through. Good evening, blinds closing. It's just that was a misplay. I don't think it was the end of the world, but definitely hurt. I'll discard the scout. Doesn't really help us too much. It helps us a lot more. What don't we want him to have? The patrol boat, I think, is probably the best card for him right now. Kill that base, do some damage. We got 2 discard again. It's so funny because 2 discard normally pretty effective, knocking someone down to 3. You got that commander, you still got 4 cards in hand, you can do some stuff. Ooh. We have a transit and exit out, which I would love to destroy if I could. We can go, oh, we do want the Swarmer anyways, prepare with the Mothership. So let's figure out what we want to do. We want to scrap, yes. Scrap from discard there. I'm going to put this guy out. We're going to put Swarmer on top. Then we're going to draw the Swarmer. We're going to buy anything before we do this. We could throw that cargo pod. I want to stay thin. Let's just get rid of that. Bob Carrier shows up. That's so funny because we can almost buy it. Let's just get some stuff out here. Now I almost kind of want to buy the cargo pod. Just get the purchase power and the 1-turn punch. We're not gonna. We're gonna waste 6 damage on this plasma event, but we got X. We're taking 4. There we go. That's a good hand. Real good hand. I got no discard on him that turn though, so that hurts. He's going to be able to just completely unload this turn. I guess I wasn't even thinking his cargo pod could have triggered Lee's Gambit. Yep, it scraps. Okay, exactly. As I'm saying it, someone else is already saying it. Yeah. Wasn't super paying attention there. That's alright. But this deck is now starting to shuffle up so much. So I'm really digging that. Oh, we got kill. Look at that. Yeah, absolutely. So, good game, Matt. Good game. Artemis or Nickenber, whichever one. So yeah, absolutely. The streams. I stream on usually every Thursday night. Matt streams every Wednesday night, usually about the same time, from 9 to 11 Central. And then we have a couple other people that stream. Normally VQ streams right before me. She's not in here. But if you go to the Facebook page, people usually post when they're going to stream. I think really the Facebook will get you to the other places, because there's a couple other Discord groups that we have set up on there, like the Galactic Summit, where it's kind of like a league, but it's also people go on there and they talk strategy and things like that as well. They share links and things of that nature. And then of course Board Game Geek. Board Game Geek has a lot of leagues, a lot of good information in there, a lot of players, a lot of really good players. So that's another good place to go as well to find more players. To me, Board Game Geek doesn't seem as social as like our Facebook group. Not that's a bad thing, but like it's more there. Like I go specifically there for info. I go there for leagues. Whereas like discussion and things like that, I kind of go towards the Discord or our Facebook group. So, but yeah, definitely. So check those out. All right. So Artemis is sending Valken with core set, promos, and bases. Who haven't I played yet? I haven't played Valken, but I don't want to do a Mirren matchup. I'll play Walsh. I don't think I played Walsh yet tonight. Did I play Walsh? No, I don't think I played Walsh yet tonight. So we'll play Biolord Walsh. Accept that challenge. And Artemis goes first. But yeah, if you like the stream, if you like checking out the Star Realms, feel free to throw down a follow, and that way you'll get notified when the stream goes live. Like I said, if you click on Matt's name or type him in Twitch, you'll see his stream. Like I said, same thing, throw him a follow, and that way you'll see when he streams as well. Sometimes we do randomly pop up on a stream on like a weekend or something like that, like not this past weekend, but the weekend before. Matt and I streamed Commanders for like 2.5 hours, just on a random Saturday. So yes, Mike is pointing out the mech command ship. So this is a good command ship. Cost 8, they all cost 8. You may scrap up to 2 cards from your hand or discard pile. You gain 3 life for each card scrapped this way. But I did damage for some reason, I have no idea why. If it's actions, you can draw a card, and you may destroy a base. Seems pretty good. So, yeah, that one's awesome. Like I said, Divine Admiral Lee's one, I'm so disappointed in. To me, it's just not good. But, alright, it is your turn, Artemis. So whenever you were ready to roll, have at it. Yes, some of the 8s to have no damage is kind of weird. Nandi's obviously is so good. Draw 2 cards, get 4 trade, combo it to draw another card. So basically it says play this, Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, go ahead. Take your time. Um, yeah, especially if you haven't played commanders that much. So main things about your commander is, yeah, I forgot about that as well. You can scrap a card, and then you can choose to activate your gambit once, and you can pull back a card that was scrapped, so it's no longer scrapped, and gain 5 life. But then you lose out on scrapping the card as well. So it's a real balancing. Yep, so the coefficient efficient, that's what I'm talking about. So let's say you have a trade bot in your hand. You can scrap a card from your hand or discard pile. You scrap a scout. Then that will light up and it'll say you could click it to use it. And then another screen will show your cards that you scrapped. You can pick one. Like let's say you scrapped from your hand, it'll put the scout right back in your hand and you gain 5 life. So like I said, you don't get to scrap then, but you gained 5 life. So it's a balancing of when it's better to just take the scrap and get the card out of your deck versus getting 5 life instead. So yeah, just like Matt said, that one, we're still trying to figure out when always is like the best strategy to use it. I like it because late in the game, when you only have good cards and you've got rid of all your crap cards, I'll still scrap one of my good cards, use that, get my card back, and gain 5 life. So basically it's like free life gain at the end of the game. So yeah. And then her gambit, obviously, so it doesn't show it there, but you can scrap it. You get a 6 defense outpost. That's red and blue. And then you can, each turn, you can either do 2 damage with it or gain 2 life. But once that is destroyed, it's out of the game. Oh, excuse me, it does not go to your discard. So you gotta decide if you want to try to play it early to get a lot of use out of it, or do you want to save it to faction when you want to faction Machine Cult or Trade Fed. So it really depends. So yeah, as you can see there's the power of some of these cards already. You've got a 5 cost flagship right now if you want, because this makes it cost 1 less. Cargo boat's so awesome. But you need a blue, the faction, to get the life gain. So right now, because of this combo, this is a colorless card, so it doesn't give you the trade or the life gain from the cargo boat. But because you comboed blue with this, the next blue card you buy is 1 cheaper. So it's pretty cool. So we'll see what Artemis wants to do here. Oh, Artemis is level 21. Okay, so you're well versed in Star Homes. I'm glad to see that. Yes, it's only blue. Will be 1 cheaper, and it's only the next one you buy. But again, still pretty good. Like if you would have had another 2 trade, you could have got that flagship for 5. And also, just because her primary colors are red and blue, and you start out with cards of that, as you saw, like when me and Matt were playing, that by no means means you need to stay in those colors. Granted, you're going to be a little more geared for those colors to start out, but like if I'm red green and there's just tons of good yellow, I'm going to go pick those up. I'm not going to leave them there. So can kind of go either way. Yep, so this is an interesting card. So yeah, if you combo red, you can get some damage. That's actually a really awesome card. Okay. So normally, this Gambit would be saved for a base. So I'm going to use my Gambit. I get 2 trade. I faction red and green. And the next base I buy, I put directly into play. So if you get a Factor World, a Brain World, anything like that, you slam that sucker right into play right away. But it still gives me 2 trade. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to buy your ship. I'm not gonna leave that out there. Then I faction red and green. Alright, so we'll do that. So my ship will be in there somewhere. That's the cool thing about the command decks. They each have a big ship. And so if you're not familiar with command decks, so when we sit down to play, your big ship and my big ship gets shuffled into the trade deck. And they can show up at any time. The Frontier Tug is awesome. You combo it with blue, you buy a base, and instead of it going to your discard, it shuffles into your deck. Which is kind of cool, because then like you know, like you've got a 3-card deck right now, you know if you were to be able to combo that, you could get that card into your hand right away next turn, so kind of cool. It is core set, promos, and bases. So we could see some art shenanigans. We could see some other things happening. Alright, grabs that patrol mech. Patrol mech never lets you down. Yeah, the block fighter. So exactly, that's the thing. That's where you have to decide, do you want to put that into your deck? Your deck I don't think has any green, so it makes it a little bit tougher. He's going to grab it. But yeah, I mean, it still does 3 damage. Plus, it keeps the blob fighter away from me. But now it puts it in your deck where you have to deal with it. So that's kind of the game a little bit, where you have to figure out what's worth grabbing, what's not worth grabbing. So I unfortunately am short on trade to pick up Flagship or the Hive. I'm more afraid of you getting the Flagship. Yeah. So I flip a construction hauler. That is unfortunate. I will grab this battle pod. I'm a big fan of that. And I'll grab this missile bot. Even though I don't really think I need it too much, especially with that command ship, but alright. That command ship is... I've never actually played that command ship in the app yet, so I'm kind of excited. Yeah. Mega Mech in the house. Mega Mech is so good. Especially if I'm able to get something going with Walsh with bases, allegedly at some point. You won't be able to see it now, but what it is, I'll tell you what it is. It's a Machine Cult and Trade Fed base, so it does faction for both of them. It is those colors. It's 6 defense outposts, and then you can click it to either gain 2 life or do 2 damage. But once it dies, it's out of the game. It leaves the game. So you have to decide when you're willing to do that. I kind of wish if you clicked on it, it would show you. I really wish it would. Like if I click on it here, if like I right click it or something, it would show you, but it doesn't. When you're selecting your commander, when you're sending a challenge, if you go to that command screen where it shows all the command decks, if you click on the commander and then you click, like double click on it, it'll show you their whole deck. You can kind of scroll through and see what they have. Yep. Matt's saying it will show for you. I don't think it will show for you. Yeah, it doesn't give you trade. It only gives you damage and life. Oh, gotcha. Oh, Matt's saying if, yeah, it'll show you because you're going to use it. Absolutely. So it's kind of, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it's only 5 because of my ability. So Walsh's ability, all my bases are 1 tougher and all your bases are 1 weaker. But normally it's 6. But because of my ability, it's 5. Yeah, I didn't get it either. If you bounce it, could you put it in your discard? I don't believe so. This says if it leaves play, scrap it instead. So I think it's meant to say you can't get it into your deck. I think that also means if you bounce it to your hand, it'll go away too. I don't think it'll actually go to your hand. Alright, so I unfortunately am a little short again. I will kill that. I can't buy the Mega Mech as much as I want to. I'll get rid of it. Unfortunately. And I'm actually going to buy this Barter World. It's going to be 5 defense for me. And it'll combo with this mech command chip. I think this playlist finally ran out. I will grab another playlist. There we go. All right. Artemis is getting some cards out there, buying some chips. So one thing I'll say, I mean, definitely, I'll let you do what you're gonna do, and we'll talk about it after the game. Let's take a look here. So scrap 2 cards from your hand, or discard pile, gain 3 for each way. All right, so we'll do that. Scrap them too. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll tell you right now. One thing with the command decks, there's only 5 regular starters in all the command decks except for Yoakum. There's 4 scouts and 1 viper. So with that said, granted, you could still scrap all your other cards, like this ranger, this scout bot. I'm probably gonna scrap them out, but it's less important than it is in our normal game. So you may want to consider at some point kind of holding back on how much scrap you're buying, if that makes sense. So, because there's less cards overall that you really need to scrap. That's my interpretation of it, though. Other people could see it a different way. Draw a card, destroy base. There's no base, so I'll draw. Of course, I draw the Viper. I want to get the 5 trade. So me, I am considering getting that patrol mech just because it does do 5 damage. I could get 3 trade if I want to pinch. I also think about taking that cutter away from you. I think I'll do that. Get that cutter for myself, and nothing else we really want there. So we'll do some damage. Yeah, exactly. Because Valken, you do want to scrap. You do want to use that ability. And yeah, like Matt said, sometimes you do over scrap with that. But again, with that said, you may want to scrap your whole deck and only have the cards that you bought. Make your deck, as powerful as possible. So there you go. You saw exactly how that ability worked. You scrapped the card, but then you pulled it back and gained 5 life. So even though I felt like I had a pretty significant lead, as you can see from life totals, and I'm about to take 15 more damage, That's not the case at all. That's the nutty thing about these command decks like this. You got a fair bit of life gain you've been getting though too. I guess I'm not really considering that. Like this turn you gain 10 life. So we're gonna get that hive already. I want to stop letting that thing sit around. Yeah, it's been interesting, this trade row for sure. I don't know what I really want. I don't know if I want to leave that battle barge out there for you. Doesn't really help your deck too much. It does 5 damage. It makes you just get up. I'll just get rid of it. Just be the heck of it. There we go. We're much happier with that. Alright, laying down some beats. So yeah, this laser drone, if you combo it up, it's a quick 5 damage for a starter. Does grab that defense center. Alright, I got some choices to make here. So I could, if I keep the scout bot, that means I could throw something on top. Yeah, I hear you for sure. That's exactly the balancing that we were talking about. At some point, then you have to figure out which way is the best way, and who really knows what that is. Get that laser drone too, so I think we will do that. Is there anything in here? No. We'll get rid of these two. Use this with the missile bot on top. Draw. There we go. Kinda don't want to get rid of any of these cards. I mean, maybe the welder drone at this point. I mean, that sinks, but I think we will get rid of it. I think... Man, I really don't want just to grab a random Imperial Fighter. Well, you know what? We'll grab this base. My bases are annoying to deal with because they're bigger. And that'll sit out there and do damage and give me trade. So he is scrapping out. He's grabbing that battle mech. Then a mega hauler shows up. That's interesting. Big damage, 12 damage coming in. Let it go. Let it go. You will hear my singing. Make it so. Alright. Get the hive, see what we draw. So as you can see, my bases are 1 defense bigger because of my ability. As I mentioned, it kind of makes them a pain in the butt to deal with. Get rid of that mega hauler. That's a base we want to see. Double Imperial Fighter. Yeah, we're not going to So we're kind of getting it down to the wire here. Artemis at 22, I'm at 31, but Artemis is coming out with a big hit, gaining life. If he chooses to go on a purchasing spree or let his trade go, he does do the trick. He didn't really scrap. It looked like he scrapped, but he really didn't. So now he's up to 30 life, just like that. Does take out the hive. So that's a nice thing, because my bases have +1 defense, they're harder to kill, they soak up more damage, less damage coming my way. Usually ends up making it so you have more bases left over if you buy a lot of bases that are out because they can't kill them all. Because every couple of bases, that's a couple more damage that they couldn't sink in. Alright, so this is really good for us. We're going to scrap out a couple of these last not super useful cards. Yeah, trade row is really iffy right now because, like I said, there's some teasers like these fighters, but then they get stuck in your deck and they don't link up, and it's just not worth it. Other ones are all trade cards. So the trade row is kind of locked up until someone's willing to dive in. But then, as we can see, that leaves the door open for your opponent to be able to take advantage after that. Do I want to kill that protopod? Kind of kills almost all my purchasing power if I do that. I'm not really too thinking that's going to be too worrisome right now. Yeah, we'll go for the kill. We'll get rid of the protopod. Let's draw. Yeah, Alexa's saying scrap it all. Just get it out of there. I'm going to leave that row alone. I'm going to try to... Oh, game's over, actually. I'm over here screwing around. Whew. Just put together that just enough. Lots of big damage there, some life gain. And then scrapping out the old Barter World for the win. Yeah, good game, man. Thanks for sending that over. Like I said, feel free to send a challenge over anytime. I take challenges. Matt will take challenges. Lux as well. Lux is currently not in the beta, but he is on the regular game, and I know he'll take challenges as well. So, all right. I'm actually a little bit over my time, so I think I am going to end up calling it a night. Let me just double check on the off chance it's someone else. We've actually found other random people that are streaming Star Realm sometimes, and they've actually like joined our community, things like that. Because of it, there is no one else. I'm just gonna see if there's anyone else that we're friends with that we just want to throw a quick raid to. Just stop in, say hi real quick. Doesn't really look like it. Gents Pulverized, so we'll raid Gents just like I had Matt do. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for stopping in, Matt. Thanks for stopping in, Lux. Like I said, Artemis, thanks you for stopping in. Like I said, feel free to throw a follow in the channel. That way you'll be notified when I go live. And like I said, check out the group. You said you already did, so I'm actually the lead admin, so I'll approve you right away. I'll actually go do that right now while we're on here. Member requests. There we go. Alright, so you should be approved and in there, good to go. I said stop there, check it out. There's so much good stuff. There's a treasure chest jumping up and down. Oh, I think I have something on there like... no, not a problem, Frank. I appreciate you being here either way, and appreciate the challenge earlier as well. Okay, so they click to claim a bonus, so there's little points on the bottom. you can just go and click on that. You'll just get points for the channel. Most Twitch channels have that. And then you can use those points for little rewards. Like you can open up like one of the emotes that normally you have to be a subscriber to get. Like you might be able to buy it that way. Or you can highlight your message, or there's different things you can do with it. So yeah, and then while you're watching a channel, you slowly accumulate points. And then I'm setting some stuff up where I want to set up like some sound alerts where you can spend like 100 points or 300 or 500 points, you know, based, and it's gonna do like sound effects and things like that. So that kind of makes it a little more interactive for people that are watching and spending time. They're getting these points and then they can do something with them. Some people will use them for like raffles, like you can spend so many points and get entered for a raffle. So there's all sorts of different things you can do. But yeah, so if on the Facebook page, when you go in there, there's an announcement post. They used to be pin posts, but Facebook changed that. In there is kind of like the rules, but there's also a lot of the links I was talking about to like the strategy guides. The Mega Holland podcast is a great resource. There's a link to that there. Yep, 320. You get my little thing there. That's my emote. So there's different things you can do with that. So, all right, I am going to set us to raid gens. Absolutely. Thanks for stopping in, everyone. I really appreciate it. And like I said, Artemis, yeah, usually stream on Thursday nights, like around 9 o'clock Central Time. So take care, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and street gens. If you guys want to hang out, say hi to them real quick, and then bail, whatever. That's cool. All right, take care, guys.
Referees would have missed that. Of course.
I don't know, Sean. Murat.
Oh, let's go. Knockout artist in the black shorts, but he's got it, man. The rest was crushing.
There's a slight bit there. Jadamba pushing forward. Murat shoots in for a takedown on the single leg. Goes
Nice single leg. Look at Doe. He's fighting it like a boss.
Subs, and you expend energy attacking with subs. Before was attacking hard with subs in round 2.
But when you don't get it, when you miss, you put your heart and soul into it. What happens is it gets in your